So, have you heard the news? There's a huge international report that's just raised a massive red flag, and it's about one of India's greatest, most ancient natural treasures. It's basically a warning shot, telling us that something is going seriously wrong right in our own backyard. And today, we're going to unpack exactly what that means.
Yeah, the term they're using is significant concern, and it's been stamped on the Western Ghats by the IUCN. That's the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Look, this isn't just some fancy environmental jargon. This is a huge deal. It's basically an international SOS about the health of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down for you. What's this warning really about? Why are the Western Ghats so incredibly precious? What's causing all this damage? And, the big question, what can we even do about it?
All right, so first things first, let's demystify this term, significant concern. What does it actually mean? Well, think of it like this. It's like a doctor looking at your test results and saying, this is worrying. The IUCN gives this status to a World Heritage Site only when it's facing major, serious threats. We're talking about threats that could permanently damage the very things that make it so unique and valuable. Now, it's not a death sentence, but it's a really serious, urgent warning. It's the world saying, hey, you need to act now, or you could lose this forever. So, to really get to the bottom of this, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the red flag that's been raised. Then, we'll dive into what makes the Ghats such an ancient treasure in the first place. After that, we'll tackle the tough stuff, why they're hurting, and the complex human story behind it all. And finally, we'll look at the way forward and our role in all of this. Ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive right in. The IUCN's warning. What's it all about? See, this isn't just some random comment. It's part of a massive global assessment, the World Heritage Outlook 4 report. And honestly, what it says about our natural heritage sites here in India, it's pretty sobering stuff. And as you can see, the Western Ghats isn't the only one on this list. Sundarbans National Park in Assam and the Sundarbans in West Bengal, they've also been flagged with significant concern. What's really worrying, though, is that the Sundarbans situation has actually gotten worse since the last report back in 2020. This just goes to show you it's a much wider troubling pattern. Our most vital ecosystems all across the country are under some serious pressure.
But look, before we get too bogged down in all the problems, let's just take a step back for a second. Let's really appreciate what we're even talking about here. Because the Western Ghats, or the Sahyadri as many of us know it, it's not just any mountain range. It is a living, breathing piece of our planet's history.
Just look at that number, 150 million years. I mean, to put that into perspective for you, the mighty Himalayas, they're basically toddlers in comparison. The Western Ghats were formed way back when the Indian plate broke away from that ancient supercontinent, Gondwana. Think about that. This incredible age means they've seen the rise and fall of dinosaurs. They've witnessed the entire evolution of humanity. It's a geological marvel, plain and simple.
And the sheer scale of it, it's just immense. We're talking 1,600 kilometers, running all the way down our western coast, cutting through 6 states, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. And this isn't just some line on a map, This is the main watershed for pretty much all of peninsular India. All those great rivers we know, the Godavari, the Krishna, the Kaveri, they all start here. They provide water to millions and millions of us.
Now this is where things get really fascinating. This tells you just how unique this place is. The Western Ghats is one of the world's 8 hottest hotspots for biodiversity. Out of more than 5,000 species of flowering plants you find here, get this. Nearly 1,500 of them, that's 38%, are endemic. Endemic means you can only find them here, nowhere else on the entire planet. It's literally a living museum of evolution.
And all of this incredible plant life, well, it supports an equally mind-blowing variety of animals. We're talking 139 species of mammals, over 500 different birds, and almost 180 kinds of amphibians. And here's a crucial point. The southwestern part of the Ghats is home to India's largest population of Asian elephants and a really significant number of Bengal tigers. These iconic animals, they depend on this continuous stretch of forest for their very survival.
And this table does a great job of showing how the Ghats fit into the bigger picture, right? You've got the Himalayas up north, regulating our massive rivers. You've got the Sundarbans acting as a shield for our coast. But the Western Ghats, they play a totally unique and absolutely vital role. They are basically the engine that drives the monsoon for peninsular India. And their biodiversity, defined by that crazy high level of endemism we talked about, well, that's what makes this place truly one of a kind.
So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? If this place is so ancient, so vast, so precious, why on earth is it in trouble? Well, the reasons, as you can probably guess, are complex, but really they boil down to two massive pressures, kind of working together against it: direct human activity and the huge looming shadow of climate change.
Okay, let's start with the direct pressures. These are the wounds we're inflicting day in and day out. Forests are being cleared for farms and plantations. Hills are literally being blasted for mining and quarrying. We're building roads and dams, often without proper environmental planning, and they're just cutting right through these vital forests. And this creates these small, isolated islands of forest. We call it habitat fragmentation. It's a disaster for wildlife that needs huge areas to roam and find mates. Then you add in all the pollution runoff from farms and towns, and you've basically got an ecosystem that's slowly being choked.
But here's the thing. Even if we could magically control all of those direct pressures tomorrow, there's an even bigger, more unpredictable threat that's making everything worse, and that's climate change. This isn't some far-off problem for our grandkids to deal with. Its effects are already hitting the Ghats, right now, and they are dramatic and, honestly, deeply unsettling.
And check this out. This really shows you just how bizarre and unpredictable climate change can be. Scientists looked at data from 1931 all the way to 2015, and they found that the northern part of the Ghats has actually gotten wetter, while the southern part has gotten drier. It's all linked to rising temperatures in the Arabian Sea. I mean, can you imagine an ecosystem that has evolved over millions of years with a stable climate, and suddenly its most basic rainfall patterns are just flipped upside down? The result? More extreme floods in some places, severe droughts in others, and the whole system is being stressed to its breaking point.
So to really get a handle on this challenge, you have to look at the people involved. And I want to be really clear here. This is not some simple story of good guys versus bad guys. It's a really complex web of competing interests where the push for development often clashes head-on with the need for conservation.
And this slide, it lays out that fundamental conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got conservationists. They're pushing to declare huge parts of the Ghats as ecologically sensitive areas, or ESAs. These are basically zones with strict rules on industries and other activities to protect them. But then, on the other side, you have powerful development lobbies. They want to expand mining, build new infrastructure like dams and roads, and clear more land for farms or industry. And who's stuck in the middle? The local communities who depend on the forest for their livelihoods, often caught between these two massive forces.
And the crazy thing is, it's not like we don't know what to do. We've had expert committees. The most famous one was led by the ecologist Madhav Gadgil, and they gave us a detailed scientific blueprint for how to conserve the Ghats while also respecting local needs. But those reports, they've mostly just been stuck in this political limbo, with different state governments and powerful interest groups pushing back. So the science is there. The political will to actually do something, that's been the real roadblock.
So, where does that leave us? Where do we go from here? Is it a lost cause? Absolutely not. The experts, the reports, they've already laid out a clear plan. It's not going to be easy, not by a long shot, but there is a path to pull the Ghats back from the brink. And here's a look at that structured path forward. Step 1, a unified plan. The Ghats don't recognize state borders, right? So you can't have 6 different states all doing their own thing. You need one cohesive strategy for the whole region. Step 2, empower local and indigenous communities. We have the Forest Rights Act, which is a powerful tool to make them the main guardians of the forest. Step 3, promote green development. That means finding ways for people to make a living that don't destroy the ecosystem, things like sustainable agriculture or ecotourism. And finally, step 4, you just have to enforce the laws we already have. Strong environmental laws are totally useless if no one is making sure they're being followed on the ground.
So, when you get right down to it, this report from the IUCN, it's more than just data on a page. It's really a mirror being held up to all of us, reflecting the consequences of our choices. It's a call to action, and it's not just for the government or for activists, it's for every single one of us.
Let's be crystal clear about what's at stake here. This IUCN alert, it's a final wake-up call. Protecting the Western Ghats isn't just about saving some rare frogs or pretty flowers. This is fundamentally about securing our own future. It's about India's water security. Remember, this is where our great southern rivers are born. It's about our resilience to climate change, because these forests are a vital shield against extreme weather. And most importantly,
It's about the future of the millions and millions of people whose entire lives are tied to this incredible ecosystem. And that really brings us to the final, powerful question. This mountain range, it has survived for 150 million years. It's witnessed continents drifting apart. It's seen ice ages come and go, and it has been through countless cycles of evolution. The only real question left is, will it survive us? And the answer to that question, well, it's being written right now, by the actions we all choose to take or fail to take starting today.
Now, this is obviously a massive topic, and if you want to dive even deeper and understand it better, I really do encourage you to visit our website. We put together some really detailed notes from all the sources, plus a quick revision mind map to help you connect all the dots. The link for all of that is right there in the description below. Thanks so much for taking the time to understand this critical issue with me.